What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of My Hero Academia Season 6, bro! Oh my god, what an episode this was. Another banger episode, as always, ladies and gentlemen. Izuku and Muscular's rematch was incredible. Oh, the shot of Izuku carrying the fucking... I thought, from Shiketsu, that's, oh my god, that shot when Izuku's carrying, like, bro. I saw that one, because I mentioned Skull time, but now I can actually say what shot it was particular. I saw that shot in the manga and the anime. They did change up the angle a little bit. It wasn't like one-to-one to the manga, but it still looked really fucking cool, man. When Izuku's like holding him and he's looking down at Muscular, man. Looked so badass, bro. It looked absolutely super badass, man. I loved that shot. But, yeah, man, this episode was incredible. Next week, we're going to be seeing Lady Nagant is finally going to make her introduction. And, yeah, but first and foremost, one thing I got to quickly talk about is, my god, did my reaction to the PvP of the Black Hero arc just completely just blow up? Like, the video is currently standing at about 763 views at the time I'm recording this, man, which shocked me because I was like, I thought this video would maybe like, oh, maybe it'll get 10 views, maybe it'll get 50 views. It won't go any crazy. I was not expecting this shit to get 700 views, so shout outs to y'all, man. And I guess Algorithm Sama was slightly looking down on me. And I think this is a teachable moment! To mention to y'all guys the importance of thumbnails, bro, because originally, a little funny story for y'all. Originally, when I did this review, when I uploaded, the thumbnail I picked was, I used to just pick one of the 3 random thumbnails, more times than not. And it was of the logo, the Hero Waka logo. I was like, yeah, fuck it. But then, as the video progressed on, I think I left this thumbnail up like that for like maybe 30-ish minutes, maybe even an hour. I wasn't really feeling it. I was like, you know what? I really like that shot of Izuku and Inka, his mom. So I was like, fuck it, let me switch it to that, and boom, the video skyrockets in views. Which seemed to also have a nice trickle-down effect on my review, because that video is outstanding at 61 views, with 2 likes on it, and the retention looks really good, too. So, and I think it had a nice trickle-down effect, and I think that's because I set the video next to the playlist was my review, because originally I had it up to, like, let the algorithm pick for you, but then I was like, let you guys hear, let me switch to my review, and boom, then it started skyrocketing in views around the same time as the reaction was. So yeah, little teachable moment for y'all that want to become YouTubers, man. Thumbnails are important, man, and if you want a video to pop off, put in the end cards. It might give you a nice trickle-down effect to it, man. But whatever the case may be, man, enough of me rambling. Let's just jump right into the actual episode. So we started the episode off after all the recap and everything with 2 of the students that we saw from the provisional license exam arc, Shindo, if I'm pronouncing that right, and Tatami Nakagami, if I'm pronouncing those names right, which you guys remember from the provisional license exam arc back in season 3. Now, if you guys are paying attention while President Mike was doing his whole Takami Nakane, her hero name, Tattoo Deco, when he was doing that whole thing, you may have noticed that for both of them, he said that they were both 3rd years. Now, when this arc was originally publishing the manga, I heard that there was a time skip during this arc, and just to make sure for myself, when this episode aired, I went back, and after I watched it, of course, I went back and rewatched the episode that both of these characters appeared in for the first time, their first appearances in the provisional license exam arc from season 3, just to make sure there was. And they're both 2nd years, and here they're both 3rd years. So it seems like that there was indeed some sort of time skip between the last episode and this. Now, granted, that was also at the around the midpoint, around the end of season 3, and we're now around the end of season 6. So just given how long it's been between that, there might have not been a time skip, and that's just normal time pass. But I'm pretty sure there was indeed. There seems to be some sort of time skip between the last couple of episodes. I could be wrong there. If I am, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it seems like there was indeed time skip. Anyway, they overhear on the intercoms that the escaped jail, that the jailbreak they saw earlier that Westward to all heroes there to investigate the affected areas immediately. And you have Yo telling Tatami to sir, that we need to get the remaining people here before we go and before we get out here quickly. And he says that I'll negotiate with them with a pleasant smile, Miss Joke style. Honestly, I kind of hope we do see Miss Joke again, man. She was a cool character, man. When I was rewatching that episode, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Joke was actually a pretty cool character, man. I wish we saw more of Inuyasha and Ken. Those are the 2 characters I want to see more from the provisional license exam arc that I want to see more of. Those 2 were cool, but we haven't seen those 2 since season 4. But anyway, They get over to like this gym that's obviously, you know, destroyed everywhere. And now, first of all, I gotta say, I love the music that we're playing here, man. That little ticking they got right there as they were entering the building, man. Honestly, it reminded me a lot of Dunkirk, which you guys may remember from Christopher Nolan, which also did like, which Hans also did like ticking clock thing with the soundtrack, man. God, I really did the sound of that, man. I thought that was pretty cool. So they get inside. So they get inside the gym. You know, they got like treadmills and stuff. You know, barricade the windows. They're all, you know, the dude's just chilling there in front with all his boys behind him. Like, this should look like something out of The Last of Us, honestly, man. Which, you know, the series itself has been insane, man. That show has been absolutely incredible, man. But anyway, so they're telling him that they're not gonna. He tries to get them over to evacuate with them over to like one of the you know, centers they got going there. But of course they don't want to go because they don't trust heroes anymore. But you have like this cat dude saying that he's already turned the tables on some of the scum that were trying to attack him. As we see him, he's like rocking like some like bladed gauntlet thing that has like claws on it, man. It always looked pretty cool from the little bits we saw. It looked pretty cool. So they try to tell him that the jailbreakers and the Nomos are different, that even that if that one miss up, you know, that even a pro could die. And so the dude and the leader of this group, who I'm gonna call him Mr. Mustache because or Mustache Man, because he has a badass mustache. And Mustache Man tells like, oh, I told you guys we trust ourselves more than we do the heroes. And so then he tries to do the whole Pleasant Smile thing with like, oh, let us protect you. And he said, this is what happened the last time we trusted in those words. After the incident, the heroes from this jurisdiction turned tail and run along with all the heroes in the westward and eastward as well. So there's really no heroes left there. Even though we gave so much attention, we're not going to see eye to eye. Fuck off, kid. He doesn't say all that. He tells he says, go away, boy. But yeah, that obviously did not work. So then Yo is obviously frustrated and pissed off at this defeat, yes, saying that if he could use Vibrant, he could level the entire building in a second, and he wishes that he could just force him out there and drag him out. So then that's when Nakagami gets a call on her phone, and then basically warns him that he's there, Muscular's here, and that they both need to get the fuck out of there. Right on cue, Muscular shows up, busting through buildings, and comes right towards Yo and Takagami. And I also gotta say, I love this shot of when Yo like pulls out this sword, man, from like behind him. I didn't even knew this man even carried a sword. I don't think he ever actually did use a sword in season 3 during the provisional licensing. I could be wrong on that when he did, but either way, man, this shot looked pretty cool when he pulls that thing out, man. I love the angle they used there, man. The storyboarding and the key animations episode was fantastic, especially the key animation, man. The detailing was on point in this episode, man. And I'll talk more about probably why that is in a little bit later on in the episode. Because there was some interesting facts with this episode I found out right before I watched it that I thought was interesting, man. So yeah, you of course got Yo and Muscular facing each other off, man. Takagami tries to like get in front of the Mustache Man and his crew, but they just yeet her to the side as she tells him like, you can't fight him, run. It's not like we're not taking over the likes of you. And she tells, I just don't want you guys to die. So by this point, obviously Muscular is beating the shit out of Yo. He's got him pinned down to some building and tell him like, oh, there's one here. There's gotta be 10 more. He looks around, obviously sees Takagami and the rest of the guys, and that's when Yo starts to use his quirk Vibrate on Muscular, trying to like, you know, mess around, trying to like, you know, destroy his muscle fibers. But because he has like 12 layers, he can't get through them. So he's like, all right, fine, I'll just up the power. He doesn't go full out because he says that if he goes full out, he won't be able to move for a while. But then, so after he uses more of his power, tremoring Earth, and he says, I'll shake your brains out there. Smoke is all over the goddamn place. Muscular's like, oh, you increase your power? I'll just increase my armor. And by this point, this man is like completely covered up in muscle fibrils. It also looked pretty cool, man, not gonna lie. And so right as he's about to deal the killing blow to Yo, and you of course got Mustache Man telling his crew that we gotta help the kid, Izuku comes out of nowhere and saves the day, man. Oh my god, we finally get the money shot, man. Izuku carrying Yo, the shot that I saw the manga panel for when this originally published in the manga, man, and I lost my goddamn mind when I saw it there. Seeing in the actual show, man, it looks absolutely incredible, man. Love this shot, man. Looks so good. You bet your ass this will be on a thumbnail, as I'm sure you guys probably saw when you clicked on this video. But yeah, this shot looks incredible, man. I was instantly sold on this art the second I saw this shot, man. Izuku, man, my boy looks so fucking badass this episode, man. It's incredible, man. So of course, Muscular is very happy to see Izuku once again. He's like, yay, finally I can have a real challenge. I've been keeping nothing but small fry that do not quench my bloodthirst. He tells him that this is not nothing to do with revenge or anything honorable like that, but he's human too, and he just wants to experience that thrill again because he hasn't been able to get it ever since then. So then he like jumps and tries to get to Izuku, but he doesn't jump all the way up to the top of the building. He goes like around like midway through the building before he just yeets that motherfucker like he's the fucking Hulk, bro. This is pretty insane, bro. When he just like grabbed the building and like yeeted it. Like, goddamn, bro, you the fucking Hulk. And so now this was really fucking cool because by this point he activates a smoke screen, which is from one of the users of One For All, the guy with the red jacket, and he uses a smoke screen, and I thought this was really cool, where Izuku brings Yo back over to Takagami and tells her like, oh, you know, he's good, you know, sorry I couldn't get here sooner before he got hurt, and you know, he leaves. And this entire time she doesn't see him. She cannot see what Izuku looks like because of the smoke screen, man, which I thought was so cool. It definitely obviously adds to all the Batman and Daredevil comparisons that I'm sure people were bringing up during this art when it was publishing, because this was pretty badass, no lie, man, with Izuku just keeping himself completely covered in shadows as he just delivers Yo to her, man. Oh, so fucking cool, man. So then the guy with the red jacket, I forget his name, actually just straight up starts talking to Izuku, like right here, I guess because of everything the previous users of One For All can now just straight up talk to him now, just whenever they feel like it seems like. So Izuku thinks he might have gone a little overboard with the smoke screen, which it is, and yo, it's gonna be harder for him to control because this thing's been cultivated over so many generations. That's gonna be hard for Izuku to try and like control and like juggle all these quirks all at once. And he tells him that he thinks too much of quirks, think of them more as tools. And this I thought was interesting because this shot was in the trailer when Izuku jumps out of the smoke screen. He's kind of like gliding in the air while he's jumping towards Muscular. We saw this shot in the trailer, but it wasn't dimmed at all. But in the actual episode, this is where it was dimmed, which I thought was weird because nothing really that like bright happens. It's just Izuku's One For All, like, you know, lightning things. I also don't really understand why this scene was dimmed. It didn't seem like it was really needing the dimming, but whatever. I'm not Japan, bro. I'm not the one regulating these rules with like the dimming and everything. I just thought that was odd because I didn't think this would get dimmed because it wasn't dimmed in the trailer. But yeah, this part of the episode was dimmed for whatever reason. Don't really get why. So either way, man, he's back in the smoke screen. He jumps up into the air, starts stacking up quirks a little bit, where he now starts to float around, and tells him to like keep the smoke screen to get Muscular up to where he wants him as he's floating in the air, and tells himself to bring back the memories of that day. I'm assuming he's referring to their original fight back in season 3, man. Then Muscular jumps up towards Izuku, and Izuku manages to grab him with Black Whip and throws him into like this little like mini lake they got right here. As Izuku asks him where Shigaraki One For All is, he tells him he doesn't know. All they said to do was do what you want. And so, of course, he wants to have a brawl. He wants to have a rematch with Izuku where they go all out, man. Oh my god, once again, the key animation on my boy looks amazing. When we just see Izuku, his eyes, we always see of his eyes, or all we see is like his pupils from his eyes, just his green eyes, man. Oh my god, it looks so badass, man, so badass. So then, of course, Izuku does actually try to put this thing into practice. He tries to use the Talk No Jutsu to Muscular, man. And of course, it doesn't work because this ain't Naruto. But yeah, he asks him, you know what? He asks him what regrets he has. He tells him that he doesn't want he doesn't get to enjoy the things he wants to the fullest. And he asks him if there were no other paths. He says, nope. Are you trying to sympathize with me? Yeah. Dude, that's somewhere else. Yeah, as we can see, the Talk No Jutsu failed miserably with Izuku, man. But I gotta say, I love this shot where we see Muscular guy he's towering over Izuku, man. The screen is all red and everything, man. Like, this shot looked amazing as well, man. And then we get the shot of Izuku just staring at Muscular, man. Oh my god. My boy looks so badass, man. Like I said, the key animation this episode was on point, bro. So then Izuku gets a little ready to throw down. Muscular's like splashing the water, being like, "Let's go!" And then right before they're about to throw down, some of his muscles fibers start snapping off each other. Now, this part of the episode kind of confused me as Izuku kind of like explains on probably why this is, but it seems like what went down is that due to the fact that he was just layering more and more muscles together, and probably also due to Yo's vibrate quirk, it just sort of messed with it, and it caused some of his muscle fibers to snap prematurely, or he's just like overexerting himself, but he's reached his limit with his muscle fibers. That's at least what I kind of think happened here. I could be wrong on that one. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but that seems to be what the case, where he just like maybe overexerted and layered in too many layers of the muscle. So then, as a right, he's like, "Oh, you think you're so clever?" And then Izuku just launches straight towards him and just one-shots this guy with 45% one for all. Which, speaking of one for all, do y'all remember when they had their first fight between Izuku and Muscular, and people were actively arguing whether or not Izuku used "quote-unquote" 1,000,000% of one for all? I remember people actually debating about this, arguing whether or not he actually used 1,000,000% or not. Those are the days, man. Those are the days. But one thing I wanted to mention, this is what I mentioned earlier, on why I think this episode looks so good, and of course the animation here when Izuku just charges right towards him and one-shots Muscular, that looked amazing. The animation there was godly, is because apparently, and I saw this from a tweet right before I actually watched the episode, from an account that my Sakuga Academia often retweets from after the episode aired, is that apparently this episode was actually outsourced to Studio B. Now, for you guys that don't know, Studio C is the studio within Studio Bones, the sub-studio, I guess you can call it, of Studio Bones. That works exclusively on Hero Academia. They've been doing this since Season 1. Studio B is the Mob Psycho team, and they were apparently the ones that were actually working on this episode, or at least helping out. And you can tell, because the animation here looked insane when Izuku charges towards Muscular, man. The animation looked amazing there. And of course, how amazing the key animation looked like throughout this entire episode, especially with Izuku, man. The detailing on him is insane. And I love that shot when he does the Detroit Smash, man. Oh my god. Amazing, man. Love that shot. Looked amazing. And then Izuku says, "This is my full power." And see his eyes light up a little bit, man. Looked amazing, man. And then we see Izuku's new render for the commercial break, which looks amazing. I love it. And I think All Might also got a new render as well for his true form. I could be wrong on that one, but this one looks like a new render. I could be wrong on that, though. But yeah, Izuku's new render, man, looks incredible, man. I love it. I love it. I love his new look. So after that, we then see a couple more of the students that we saw from the provisional license exam are make an appearance as well, and we see, you know, the guy, and we see the guy with the scarf that looks like Android 17, and then we see the guy that can turn things into rocks. We find out what his hero name is. His hero name is Mr. Smith. You heard that right. His name is Mr. Smith. Why? Is he a fan of The Matrix? Is he a fan of Agent Smith? Mr. Anderson? Is he a fan of Will Smith? I mean, he kind of dresses like him with the leather jacket and the chain. Like, why is his hero name Mr. Smith? Bro, you are not cool calling yourself Mr. Smith. Who the fuck's here calls themselves a hero named Mr. Smith? Am I the only one that has a problem, that sees a problem with this man? Am I going insane? Whatever the case may be, Mr. Smith sees Izuku launch into the air with Muscular. Of course, Nakagami sees it as well. She says, "Oh, I couldn't get to thank him." Then that Mustache Man, his guys bring out a stretcher to get Yo out of there, and that's when he remembers that that's Izuku from the provisional license exam arc. And then we get to the police station to drop off where Izuku drops Muscular. Once again, complete smoke screen. Nobody can see what Izuku looks like. Looks so fucking badass, man. I love the fact that Izuku's gone full Batman mode and is just basically always hiding in the shadows. Doesn't want to appear in public, man. I love that, man. It just once again adds all the Daredevil Batman comparison. I'm sure everyone's making about the talk from the manga, and of course when people are going to watch this in the anime. And then he asked, and then of course the dude asked, like, "Oh, what's your business here?" And he says, "You have Iron Maidens here, right?" Like the guard, I have no idea what the fuck Izuku's telling me. Is this supposed to be code for something? Is Izuku a fan of the band Iron Maiden? If so, he's like, "Hey, that's great taste in music, man. I enjoy me some Iron Maiden, man." But like, what the fuck is this? What does Izuku mean? Do you have Iron Maidens here? I don't know, man. Like, and even the guard doesn't even know what he was talking about, bro. He's like, "What the fuck are you on about Iron Maidens, bro? This ain't a concert." Whatever the case may be, he drops off Muscular and returns over to All Might in the back alley with his Batmobile. And then we finally figure out what these gauntlets are, if they are indeed the gauntlets from Two Heroes, the first one. And it seems like, yes, they are the same gauntlets from Two Heroes. Now, interesting enough, there is not a single direct message of Two Heroes in this scene. All they mention is that Izuku thanks him for getting him these compression items he ordered from the U.S., which of course is where Two Heroes took place in. Now, I could understand this in the manga version, not mentioning Two Heroes because while the movies are canon, they are not canon. But I'm kind of surprised in the anime they didn't just throw in an offhand mention of Melissa or the events of Two Heroes, because like I said, the movies are considered canon. I'm pretty sure Bones and even Horikoshi himself said the movies were canon, or at the very least about that with Two Heroes. So I'm kind of surprised there wasn't at least an offhand mention of Melissa or about Melissa about the gauntlets. But they basically but they end up kind of mentioning the movie anyway. Like I mentioned before, they mentioned how the gauntlets came from U.S., but Almond also says they couldn't withstand 100% of One for All, which of course we saw in the movie because it shattered in the ending fight. So yeah, it is kind of cool though, regardless that Horikoshi did bring something in from the movies into the canon, back into the canon of the main series, man. I think that's really cool, man, and of course that definitely gives more cadence to the movies and the very least Two Heroes. But yeah, that's cool, man. That I just wish they did mention Melissa at the very least. I wish there was a mention to Melissa, or just to like really bring in the movies back into like the full canon of the series, man. That's just me personally. Two Heroes slap too, man, but I don't know. But it is pretty cool that those are indeed Melissa's gauntlets, and that is what Izuku's using, man. So glad that at the very least that they are. I wish they did mention Two Heroes at the very least, man, but hey, I'll take this, man. So then All Might's phone goes off doing the whole "a phone call, it's here." A phone call is here. And I love how Izuku, even though my man's gone all like depressed now and everything, he's gone full Batman mode, he says, that's a Silver Age version. He still can't help himself, man, which I think is fun. So then he answers the phone, it ends up being Haas basically asking about Izuku. Now, I will say, this shot looked a little wonky because you see Hawks on the phone, and then behind them you see Best Genius and Endeavor fighting off against a villain. The problem is, everyone besides Hawks is frozen, minus the flames. There's literally like no motion behind Hawks. And I understand this is probably how it looked in the manga, but I do wish Bones put a little bit more like animation to this one to give it a little bit more movement to not make it look so weird and kind of wonky. I don't know if anyone else felt like that, but that's like the one, if there was one complaint I had about this episode, it was that with this fight. I wish this gave this a little bit more, like, I don't know, like seeing Endeavor like push him off to the side at least a little bit or something, or seeing Best Genius like moving his arm a little as he's trying to hold him back. Just something. Just to give this a little bit more motion, but that's just me. Anyway, as they're talking, Izuku's spider sense goes off, and he's once again back on the move. And as they continue talking, I believe it was Hawks mentioned that they have a better chance that All for One and Shigaraki in the league go and attack first, it's all over. That they have a better chance of defeating them if they're the first ones to make the move, and of course find them. And he tells them to please keep supporting the boy. We get a flashback back to a few days ago where we find out indeed about where we're getting the scene between Izuku and Inko, where we find out from the doctor that it seems like Izuku actually did not completely destroy his arms this time. Where with all the other times what happened with like his bones breaking, of course, with season 2, when he was facing against Todoroki, and season 3 with Muscular, all those times it seemed like his bones were, his injuries seemed to explode from within. I'm assuming when the doctor they referred to like his bones breaking and all that shit. But this time they exploded outwards, and I think this is, and judging from the way that this was edited together, it seems the fact that because his arms were like covered up and surrounded and wrapped around with Black Whip, that like sort of like support his arms long enough while he was just going off on Shigaraki, that it kept his bones intact, and I guess absorbed most of the blowback from his attacks and kept his arms from getting completely destroyed. That's at least what I think is happening, given how it's edited. As he's talking, they're showing Izuku's arm wrapped up by Black, which seems like that might have supported his arm to keep them from breaking. Or maybe his body's just finally starting to adapt to the quirk now, and he's able to take a little bit more abuse. Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't think it's that one in particular because the doctor does mention his condition is still worsening. So it's good, but not great, is basically the diagnosis from the doctor. I do love these shots where they show Izuku when he had that first injury with the doctor when it was at 5%, and then again at 45% when he met up the second time. I'm assuming this is after season 3. Oh, this could have been from season 4. I don't remember exactly where this shot originated from. You guys know the exact episode of the season. Tell me down below in the comments. But anyway, after that, that's when Inko asks him to explain the entire situation. And oh my god, once again, my boy! 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 I love this shot of Izuku where you see where he's just staring at All Might, man. My man looks so badass here, bro. That serious look on his face, bro. I'm like, oh my god, bro. You, amazing. I love Izuku in this arc, man. He's so fucking badass. So that's when All Might tells her base and she's kind of surprised at the fact that the reason Izuku was able to hold one from the beginning was even in using it is due to the fact that he was quirkless. So she asks him, of course, what will happen to him. All Might says that I'm making preparations to protect him if he returns back to UA, and that's when Izuku tells him, "I'm not going back to UA." And All Might had a feeling you would say this, and he says, "Shigaraki can figure where I am. It wouldn't be strange if he were coming after me right now." And he doesn't want anyone to get hurt. And then we see shots of all the people that were injured from the Paranormal Liberation from the war arc, which this I thought was really cool. I love how they kind of stitch all these shots together, man. I thought it looked really, really cool, man. Once again, like I said, the storyboard in this episode was fantastic. So, like you just saying before that, I need to shop Shigaraki and One For All. And of course, Inko isn't happy with this. She starts crying, bro. The music here was also amazing once again. And Inko says, but this happened because he couldn't defeat him. And he says, I'll get stronger. And then, no lie, bro, this scene was getting me in the feels, bro. She says, I felt relieved, but I don't like it. After hearing this, I don't like it. And she's like clutching, she's like grabbing harder on Izuku's hand. He smiles at her and says, you smile, saying thanks. And then we get the that he said, that made me so happy. And then we get the flashback to when Izuku saved her when he was like 5 years old. And then we get this shot of Izuku and Inko like hugging and smiling before it fades out to Izuku comforting his mom. And oh my God, fuck, damn it, bro. This was getting me in the feels, bro. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Can I not catch a break, bro? I already had to deal with Neil Druckmann stabbing me in my heart yet last night with the Lavas, bro. Now I got Horikoshi doing it today, man, bro. Can I not catch a break, bro? My heart can only take so much stabbing, my guy. God damn it. So, we then get a flashback to Season 3 when All Might says, when All Might was trying to convince Inko to let Izuku back at the dorms and saying that he will sacrifice his life to protect Izuku. And All Might tells Izuku, even if I try to stop you, you're not gonna go, right? Then even if you don't like it, you will want me to, I will too. And he's like crying as well, man. Ugh, such a good scene. So then we see Best Genius and how he holds a phone, bro. This dude looks fucking ridiculous because this dude holds his phone with like both hands, bro, instead of just one hand like a normal person. He looks ridiculous, bro. Although you got Hot saying it looks cool, man. No, it doesn't, bro. I'm not with you on that one, bro. I don't know about that one. Then we cut over to Bed 2 when All Might and Izuku visit Gran Torino, and when he basically passes the torch over to Izuku and hands him his like cape, I guess. And he does tell him that do not be too stubborn, that there are times when you need to kill someone to save them. Which, that is going to be interesting when we get to that point. Like, will Izuku be able to talk no jutsu Shigaraki out of this, or will he have to kill him? That is $1 million question. That will be interesting when we see that when we get to like the final arc of the series and everything, man. We'll have to wait and see on that, how that turns out. Because I'm definitely curious to know, is Izuku going to kill him, or is he going to be able to save him? Is he be able to I don't know, I don't want to say redeem him, but I guess talk no jutsu him out of it. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. And then we get this another amazing shot with Izuku, Endeavor, All Might, and Best G's and Hawk that looked amazing as well. As my man puts up his hood once again. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, is where the episode ends, bro. Oh my god, what an episode. Next week's we're going to be seeing Lady Nagant is going to be facing off against Izuku. Looks like that'll be that next episode, or the village we're going to see her in that episode, and possibly overhaul, because like I mentioned, this is the PV reaction. There's a shadowy figure behind her that looks to be overhauled, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this episode was fucking fantastic. Amazing music, amazing animation, great, amazing key animation as well. Amazing music, man. Storyboarding was on point as always, man. Ugh, this episode is amazing. Next week looks like it's going to be even more insane, man. Where we're going to see maybe Izuku and Lady Nagant going at it, bro. That should be interesting as well. But yeah, man. Anyway, guys, that's where we're going to end this review off. Overall, I'm going to give this episode a 9.5 out of 10. Guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on my socials if you feel like it. Links to the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.